Wolf, so Slayer here, and today I'm using one of my other mascots. She doesn't like to focus a lot, but we're not going to talk about that in this video today. Anyways, this video is part 2 to a video I made about 3 weeks ago. I did not mean to take 3 weeks to make part 2, but anyways, today's video is tips of making a LPS video part 2. If you guys have not seen part 1, I will link part 1 down in the description below if you guys want to go watch that, because I am going to be starting from tip number 6 because there is going to be 12 in total. In the first part there was 6, and in this part there is 6, so that makes 12 in total. And yeah, so if you guys want to know the first 6 tips, then you can definitely go watch part 1. As I said, I will link it down in the description below. So anyways, let's get started with tip number 6. So step number 6 is taking breaks. So sometimes we all have to take breaks for either lack of motivation, mental health reasons, personal stuff, or like school and exams. And sometimes we all think we will take like a few weeks or something, but sometimes we take a lot longer. And then that's when people wonder, like, are you coming back? Are you quitting? Blah, 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 blah. And people just wonder where you went, because when you start posting regularly and then you start slowing down to non-existent posting, and then people wonder, like, are you quitting or what are you doing? So usually if you're going to take a break, you have a few options of what you can do. You can let people know on your community tab that you are taking a break or you will not be posting for a while. You can also look at your favorite LPS tubers' Instagram, because a lot of times they will update you guys on their Instagram of what is happening. And also they might come back and make a video of where they have been, because sometimes our lives get busy and we can't just post every day or every week or like we've normally been doing, because we all have lives and we all have different things that happens in our lives that factor in, and sometimes we can't just constantly make videos. So yeah. Okay, so before we move on to the next tip, I'm just gonna say if you hear any background noise, it is my neighbor mowing their lawn now, because right now is a very good time, I guess, for them to mow their lawn. So if you hear any of that noise, that's what it is. But anyways, we're going to move on to the next tip. The next tip is tip number 7, and that is you don't have to buy anything expensive. So I know a lot of people think you have to buy this expensive camera and this expensive lighting and like this expensive computer and all of this stuff. No, you don't have to buy any of that stuff to make an LPS video. You can literally use your phone, your iPad, anything that you have that's like that. You could use a lamp for lighting. You do not have to get soft boxes. I know a lot of people who do get soft boxes to make LPS videos, but you do not have to pay ridiculous amounts of money for soft boxes, because I know soft boxes can get pretty expensive. You can just get a regular lamp or 2, and you can also use your phone. I know a lot of people who have used their phone or iPads or different things instead of having a camera, because I know cameras can be pretty pricey and some people don't have the money to pay for a camera or any of that stuff. But if you do want to use like a phone or an iPad and then eventually one day save up for a camera, you could. But you do not have to have all of these expensive things to make LPS videos with. I know a lot of people think, oh, well, I want my quality to look like theirs and I'm never going to get up there with just a phone or an iPad. Some people just can't afford cameras, and you can definitely just make LPS videos with a iPad or a phone or any of that stuff like that. Like, same thing with an editor. You don't have to pay for an expensive editor or something like that. You can use VideoStar, there's VideoFX Live, there's a million other different apps out there that you can use to record videos on and edit stuff on and stuff like that. So you don't just have to use like one big expensive editor, because I know some editors want you to pay for like a membership or something with them and stuff like that. You can just literally use any editor out there and you don't have to pay so much money to use it. Tip number 8 is interacting with your fans. This means talking to your fans, replying back to comments, doing live streams to be able to talk to them, and all of that stuff. So I do know that YouTube has a rule that you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers or more to be able to do live streams. And I know that also sometimes YouTube will, when you upload a video, they will set it as made for kids, even though you already set it when you uploaded it as not made for kids. But YouTube is very, very interesting, and they like to take a video that you set as not made for kids and try to make it for kids, and then you have to turn the comments back on. But if a person does comment on your video, it may take you some time to have to get back to them, because I know sometimes your like emails and stuff can get flooded with other people replying to you and stuff like that, and it can be really tedious and you get back to the people like way too late. And I've done that before because we all have different time zones and stuff like that. But it is very, very good to just interact with your fans and watch their videos and stuff like that. I have watched a lot of people that have subscribed to me. I've watched their videos. They're really, really good. And yeah, so it's really, really, it can be really hard to sometimes, reply back to everybody. But as long as you can try to reply back to everybody, you don't have to do it in like one sitting. You don't have to spend hours and hours and hours trying to like reply back to people. But as long as you either heart their comment or at least try to reply back to them a little bit, then that is engaging with your fans, and that helps a lot. Tip number 9 is make original content / characters. So what this means is make content that nobody has ever seen before. I know this can kind of be a little bit difficult because there's a lot of series out there that people have slightly recreated or something like that. I'm pretty sure all of us out here have made a LPS popular spin-off series. I will raise my hand and be one of the people that admit that I have done that in the past with a series called The War Inside Me. It's a very old series of mine that I took a popular girl and a new girl, and you know what happens and all that stuff, and like LPS popular and stuff like that. And I kind of did a series like that. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have done that before, but what this means is to make original content that nobody has ever seen. So like, let's say you have an idea for a crime series. You're really into crime videos and you decide to make a crime scene kind of like, or like a crime or like murder mystery type of thing. Or let's say you're really into the genre horror and you decide to make a horror series. You can definitely make original content by any videos that you like to see or any series that you like to see. I recommend watching different series that are your type of genre and getting inspiration, but take inspiration from the series. Don't take the entire series, because if you take the entire series from somebody, that is copying them. I don't want you guys to go out there and copy somebody's series, but you can take inspiration. Maybe there's like a monster in the series and you decide to also have a monster in a series, but it's a whole lot different and the monster comes in at different times and stuff like that, or there's a different killer, or there's more than one killer in something like that. Just take inspiration from people's series. Don't take their entire series, because that's their own idea that they came up with, and a lot of people do not appreciate when you copy their series or take their entire series from them. But you can take little bits and pieces of other people's series and kind of twist them into your own. I know that sometimes it can be really hard to come up with original content, but that's what I would do. I have watched a lot of other people's series and I have took little bits of inspiration from people's series and stuff like that. Or I've also watched my own type of like crime videos or crime series that I like to watch, and I've also took little bits and pieces from them. So I also recommend that if you like a type of crime show or a type of horror movie or horror genre series, you can take little bits and pieces of that too to kind of put into your video, so it doesn't make it seem like, oh, this was somebody else's idea when it actually is your idea. I know that can be a bit confusing. It's very hard to explain, but it just means to take little bits and pieces from other series or shows you have watched, but don't take the entire thing, because then you'll be copying the entire show or the entire series of somebody else, and nobody wants that to happen to them. Tip number 10 is make videos you want to, or videos you enjoy watching. So this kind of spins off of tip number 9. Make videos that you enjoy making. Don't feel forced to make a series just because other people like it, or just because people want you to continue it and keep bombarding you with comments of like, where's the next episode of this? Where's the next episode of this? Are you going to continue this? Are you quitting it? Don't feel forced to continue a series if you absolutely have no motivation for it, or if there's a certain video that you don't want to make anymore or anything like that. Most of the time this comes with series that you don't want to continue and people keep bombarding you with questions wondering where the next episode is. I have had this happen to me a lot, especially with two of my older series. One was Death Run and the other one was The War Inside Me, and I had no interest in doing either one of those anymore. I had no motivation to do either one of them, and a lot of people kept asking me like, where's the next episode? Why is there no episode blah 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 of the series? And it's just sometimes you lose motivation in series, especially when you start growing up, because when I made The War Inside Me, I was about 12 or 13, and by the time I think I ended it, I was about 15 or 16, and I was just done doing the entire series because it was so old. It had literally no concept to it anymore, and I was just bored of using the characters and stuff like that. So don't ever feel forced to make a series or continue making videos that you don't enjoy. Always make series and videos that you enjoy watching and stuff that you have seen some other people make. Don't copy what they have made, but take inspiration. So maybe you like, as I said, maybe you like crime, and maybe you decide to do a crime series because that's what you're interested in. But even if you get bored of that series, don't feel forced to always continue series. I know there's a lot of series out there and a lot of videos out there that I would have definitely continued to make, but I just have no interest in making them anymore, or I have still interest in them, but I just don't have the motivation or anything to continue to make series or videos like that anymore. So yeah, but don't ever feel forced to make something that you don't want to make or something that you don't enjoy making. You should always make content that you enjoy making and that you don't feel forced to make just because people are like, where is the next episode, or something like that. Okay, tip number 11 is about subscribers and views aren't everything. A lot of people look at their subscriber count or their views and they think that they're not good enough because of their subscribers and view numbers. And that does not mean you're not good enough. That is nothing like that. You should not compare your subscribers and views to your worth. I have done that a lot in the past, and I know it's a very hard thing not to do, because you look at the views and you look at the subscribers and you're like, why is everybody else a lot higher subscribers than me, or a lot of higher views, and I'm still down here in like 1 or 2 views? It takes a very long time for people to see your content, especially with the new YouTube rules and people not getting certain videos in their inboxes or their subscriptions, and certain people not being able to see certain things because of the algorithm hiding it. And that's why a lot of LPS tubers and YouTubers also tell you to hit that little bell icon and turn it to all, because that will definitely give you notifications for people's videos that you can definitely watch. I would recommend to do that with all of the LPS tubers you watch. You don't have to, but that's the only way that it really does help with the algorithm, and it does help with you being able to see people's videos, because as I said, the algorithm suppresses different videos and it only shows ones that are kind of like more popular. And also YouTube has really weird glitches that happen sometimes where a lot of people don't get certain YouTubers or certain LPS tubers that they subscribe to. They don't get their videos in their subscription boxes because of this whole thing with YouTube and their new rules, and especially ones with like toy channels and stuff, because a lot of us are getting our comments and revenues and everything just like taken from us. So I would recommend, if you have any LPS tubers or YouTubers that you watch out there, do click that little icon bell. It is right where it says subscribe, and just click it and put it on all, and you should get everybody's notifications for when they drop a new video. If you guys want to do that for mine, you can. You don't have to, but I have probably a few other videos of how to do that. But there should be a little bell icon, and you can click on it and set it to all, and it should give you notifications when I post a video or when any other LPS tuber or YouTuber posts a video. So, yeah, but do not compare your views or your subscribers to your worth, because you are worth a lot more than just a few views and subscribers. You are worth a lot more. And eventually one day you might get up to that goal. You might get up to a goal that you have set for yourself. So do not determine your subscriber count or your views to your worth, because I know that's a very hard thing, and I know I said it a million times, do not do that, but it is a very hard thing out there to not compare, because I know a lot of people compare numbers to how much they're worth, and numbers mean nothing. They really don't. They mean nothing to your worth. You are worth a lot more than just a few numbers. So yeah, don't forget that. And last but not least, tip number 12 is be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else that you're not. Don't try to be a fake person that you aren't. Be yourself, and other people, if they don't like it, then they don't have to like you. They really don't. There is people out there that will be your fans and that will support you and everything, and there will be people out there that do not like you because they're jealous of you. Do not listen to the haters, listen to your fans, and the haters will just continue to hate because that's what they do in life, but don't listen to them. Be yourself, be your creative self, find what you want to do, and yeah, so if you like making LPS videos and you want to continue to make them. Don't let the haters bring you down or anything. Just be yourself, make content that you want to make, and don't ever feel forced to make content that you don't. Just be yourself, be your authentic self, and people should, if the people want to subscribe to you and want to continue to watch you, they will. If the people don't want to, certain people don't want to, then you don't need them in your life. So yeah, I just suggest to be your original self, because nobody just wants to see this online persona that's a fake person. So just be yourself. Don't try to be like any other LPS tuber. You can just be yourself and make content that you want to do yourself, because we don't need two of certain LPS tubers. So just have your own catchphrases, have your own series, have your own videos, whatever videos you like to make, have your own, and just be yourself on this platform, because there's a lot of people out here and a lot of people that have their different catchphrases, different channels, different things they like to cover, and we all don't want to be like, we just want to be ourselves, and we don't want like 7,000 of the same person. So yeah. So yeah, that is all for part 2 of tips on how to make an LPS video. I hope you guys found this video very helpful. I know a lot of different LPS tubers out there have different tips of how they make their videos and different things like that. We're all different out here. We all have different ways of making videos and stuff like that. So yeah, if you guys have not watched part 1 yet, I will again link it down below in the description, so you guys can definitely go watch that video if you guys want to see what else I had to say. I included an acting tip in part 1 and also some other stuff about lighting and all that stuff, so if you guys want to go watch that, you definitely can. And yeah, that's all for this video, so I hope you guys found this helpful, and if you guys want to make LPS videos, here are some helpful tips. And if you guys have any tips or tricks that you guys know of, please let me know in the comment section below, because you can also help some other people who might not be able to use some of these tips and might be able to use yours. So that is all for this video, and I will see you werewolves in the next video. Stay strong, werewolves. Arr!